Ever feel like you just want the highlights of really important stuff without wading through everything?
Yeah, like trying to drink from a fire hose sometimes.
Exactly. So that's what we do here. We take a deep dive into sources so you can just get the key takeaways. Quick, no overwhelm.
It's about finding those core insights, right? The things that make you go, ah, okay, I get it.
Precisely. And today, we're diving into something maybe a bit unexpected, a YouTube video.
Oh, which one?
It's called IELTS Speaking Practice Test, Perfect Band 9, from the English.Conversation channel.
Interesting, an English test. So what's the angle there?
Well, you'd think it's just about language practice, but the speaker actually covers a ton of everyday stuff.
Like what?
Like food, seasons, holidays, what we wear, social media, careers, even working from home. Really relatable things.
Huh. Okay, so it's less about the test itself and more about the content of the conversation.
Exactly. So our mission really is to unpack the speaker's perspectives on all these topics, see what interesting viewpoints pop up.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Let's start with, well, something universal. Food.
Okay, food. What did the speaker say?
Big fan of Asian food, especially spicy and savory things.
Ah, okay. Any particular reason why?
Yeah, she mentioned living in England and, finding it maybe less available there, so it feels like more of a treat.
Oh, interesting. So it's partly about the scarcity. It makes it more desirable. That makes sense.
Totally. It's funny how environment shapes our cravings, isn't it?
Yeah. What about cooking at home?
She enjoys the process, like the act of cooking itself.
But I sense a but coming.
But yeah, work, family, it often just takes a backseat. Convenience wins.
Ah, the classic struggle. So, takeaways common then.
Seems like it, that familiar balancing act, Good intentions versus, well, reality.
Definitely relatable. Did she mention any specific local takeaways?
Fish and chips gotta mention, like the universal favorite over there.
Can't go wrong with fish and chips.
True, but her personal favorites were Thai and Vietnamese. Apparently there are good options locally for her.
So influenced by what's actually good and available nearby. Makes sense.
And fast food, how often does that feature?
Rarely, apparently. Maybe once every few months.
Yeah, and often when traveling, she specifically mentioned a filet-o-fish from McDonald's.
Huh. That's quite specific. A travel ritual, perhaps.
It could be. It makes you think about your own go-to travel foods, doesn't it? Even if it's not your usual thing.
It does. Okay, so from food, let's shift gears. Seasons.
Yes, seasons. Favorite was spring or early summer.
Okay. Why was that?
Sunshine. She linked it directly to happiness, mentioning vitamin D.
Ah, that mood boost from the sun returning. I get that. That connection's pretty strong, isn't it?
Definitely. And coping with the opposite extreme summer heat.
What were the strategies? Hiding indoors?
Pretty much. Hiding inside with air conditioning, using a fan at night.
Standard stuff.
And even carrying a portable fan when out and about.
Oh, yeah, those little handheld ones. We all have ways to cope, don't we?
We do. Then, holidays, usual time to travel.
Well, she tries to avoid school holidays because of kids, but often ends up traveling then anyway.
Oh.
You know how it is.
Oh, I do. The eternal struggle. Any preferred time or place?
Prefers around Christmas, but likes going somewhere warmer. Escaping the cold.
A common theme. But she did mention a cold holiday too, right?
Yes. A trip to Norway. Sounded amazing.
What did she say about it?
Described it as picture perfect. Mentioned fields and icebergs. Maybe glaciers or fjords.
It'd be. Sounds dramatic, though. And the highlight.
Husky sledding. Said it was an amazing experience.
Wow, yeah, that sounds incredible. Makes you think about memorable cold weather trips. Have you got one like that?
Maybe not quite husky sledding level, but yeah, those distinct experiences stick with you. Okay, let's move on.
Clothes.
Right, clothes. Where does she buy most of them?
Primarily online, it seems. Zara and ASOS were mentioned.
Very common these days, isn't it? Online shopping dominates.
Absolutely. And she described her style goal as hip, trendy, and timeless.
That's a nice balance to aim for. Trendy, but not too disposable. Exactly. Now, how often does she buy clothes?
This was interesting. She admitted more often than I should.
Oh, really? Why?
Called it a dopamine hit, that little rush from buying something new.
Emotional spending.
Huh.
Or just enjoying fashion. Many can relate to that, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And the reason behind the frequency wasn't just about trends.
No. What else?
She talked about expressing different identities. Identities? Like how?
You know, different clothes for different phases or roles.
Yeah.
Before motherhood, during, after, and clothes for work, too.
Ah, okay. So clothing as a way to sort of signal different parts of herself or her life stage.
Precisely. It's like a visual language for who you are at that moment. Makes you reflect on your own wardrobe changes over time, doesn't it?
It really does, how style evolves with life. Okay, shifting again. The digital world,
Uh,
social media,
Which platforms does she use?
Instagram and LinkedIn mainly.
Okay. And how does she use them? Just scrolling.
No, quite strategically, it sounded like. Instagram for building community,
Right. And LinkedIn.
for B2B leads. So very much work focus, using them as tools.
That's a disciplined approach. But how much time does she spend?
Ah, the confession. Way too much.
Huh. Join the club. It's addictive, isn't it?
Totally. She acknowledged that. And the need to actually engage to build relationships, which takes time.
It's constant balance, or maybe imbalance. What does
Yeah.
she dislike about it?
The addictive quality,
Oh,
definitely. And also this potential downside that maybe you have more online connections, but the quality of your real life relationships might suffer.
that's a big one. The quantity versus quality trade-off.
Yeah.
Definitely something to think about critically for all of us.
For sure. Okay, let's move into the career discussion. This came up later in the test.
Right. What did she say she enjoyed doing?
Being a speaker and a storyteller.
Oh, cool. Was that always the plan?
Apparently not. It was a childhood interest, but she didn't see it as a viable career path initially.
So what was her journey like?
Quite varied, actually. Started in STEM,
Okay.
explored something like 16 different industries.
Wow, that's a lot of exploration.
Yeah, but eventually realized all those diverse skills actually fed into being a good communicator.
Ah, so the nonlinear path ended up being an advantage. It happens a lot, I think. Career paths aren't always straight lines.
Definitely not. And why does she enjoy the speaking part so much?
The chance to influence people's thoughts, inspire some positivity,
That sounds rewarding.
and make an immediate, significant impact on a larger audience. Plus, a personal connection to speaking about mental health and well-being.
Right, so there's a real sense of purpose behind it.
Exactly. What about choosing a career in general? Any advice or thoughts there?
Yeah, some interesting points. First, genuine interest is key for sticking with something long term.
Makes sense. You need to actually like it.
And then potential for growth, especially thinking about technology like AI.
Ah, considering which jobs might be replaced.
Yeah, mentioning things like writing, recruiting, connecting, and thinking about what unique human skills AI can't replace.
That's very forward-thinking. A crucial consideration now.
Absolutely. And reasons for career failure?
What came up there?
Being driven only by money was one big reason.
Yep, the purely financial motivation often doesn't sustain people.
And also a mismatch between your personal identity and your work, not feeling like it aligns with who you are.
Right. That need for fulfillment beyond just the tasks or the paycheck.
And she had this interesting perspective that many people sort of jump in and figure it out.
Learn as they go?
Yeah, learn in hindsight, framing career development not as a fixed plan, but as this ongoing process. It's kind of reassuring, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Take some pressure off finding the perfect thing right away.
Okay, one last area, working from home in the future.
Very current topic.
Yeah.
What was the take? More of a likely.
Seems likely, yes. Mentioning the rise of hybrid and fully remote options after the pandemic.
Which we've all seen.
But she also acknowledged that people have different preferences, right? Some need that human interaction, that office accountability.
True. It's not one size fits all. Flexibility is great for some, less so for others who thrive on structure and social connection.
And technology could push it even further, couldn't it? If AI or tech replaces more types of work.
Remote work could become even more the norm for certain roles.
Well, what about the downsides she mentioned?
Potential disconnection from people was one,
Right, that feeling of isolation.
and maybe a lack of accountability, meaning you need really strong self-agency, good organization skills.
Definitely. You have to be your own manager much more. It really makes you think about your own ideal setup, what works best for you personally.
Absolutely. There's no single right answer. It's all about individual needs and circumstances.
So yeah, quite a journey through different life aspects, wasn't it?
It really was.
Mm.
All from that one speaking practice test.
It just shows how much insight you can actually get from listening closely to someone just talking about their life, their experiences, opinions.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how these everyday conversations can reveal personal philosophies and even hint at broader trends in society.
Totally. So, thinking about everything we've just discussed, the speaker's reflections on food, work, technology, all of it,
Yeah.
is there one area in your own life, maybe your relationship with social media or your career thoughts, or even just, I don't know, your go-to takeaway order
Yeah.
that you might look at a bit differently now after hearing her perspective? Something to maybe mull over.
That's a good question to leave people with. It definitely reinforces that idea, doesn't it? That you can find valuable perspectives in some quite unexpected places if you just, well, listen.
Exactly. Keep that curiosity going until our next deep dive.